Hello, guys and gals, and this is episode 2 of the World of Warcraft, the official cookbook. Anyways, provided I didn't get copyright struck for the first episode, we are continuing on. Again, if this is in violation of any copyrights, just let me know via the PayPal link, which does link to my official email address, and I will take it down as soon as I read that message, which will be instantly. Again, I read these out of respect for people, and I try to respect all copyrights. Anyways, so yeah. Also, World of Warcraft is copyright to Blizzard Entertainment and Activision. And this is a book by Chelsea Monroe-Cassel. In the last episode, we read all the intro information about dietary, about how to adapt the recipes, dietary restrictions, cooking Azerothian foods, and a note from the author. So, if you want to read that and get caught up, that's the last episode. Also, we read about all the spices and the basics of how to do all the different pie doughs and stuff like that. We are ready for the sides, the way of the nibble. And as we read before, there was an achievements list here as a way to level up your cooking. We are going to go over that really quick right here. Achievements. Make 5 from each. The way of the nibble, the way of the loaf, the way of the broth, the way of the entree, the way of the sweet, and the way of the tankard. And then, so yeah. But yeah. So, and in this we have, starting on page 27, we have boiled clams. On page 29, we have buzzard bites. Candied sweet potatoes on page 31, crab cakes on 33, cranberry chutney on 35, crispy batwing on 37, Fel Eggs and Ham, Sam I Am, on page 39, herb baked egg on 41, honey spiked lichen on 43, sauteed carrots on page 45, sliced Zangar buttons on 47, sour goat cheese on 49, spiced bread stuffing on 51, spiced beef jerky on 53, spiced vegetable chips on 55, stuffed mushrooms on 57, tracker snacks on 59, and wild rice cakes on page 61. We probably won't get through all of these in this episode, but we will try. I remember those guys. They are from the Troll area. In Northrend. Okay, boiled clams. It says, don't be fooled by the simplicity of this dish. Its bites of tender clam meat will bring the Its bites of tender clam meat will bring the delightful flavors of the Westfall coast right to your home table. What you will need is 3 tablespoons butter, 3 cloves of garlic, minced, 1/2 cup white wine or light beer, 1 pound of small clams, rinsed, and 1 tablespoon minced fresh parsley. And first of all, we are going to go over this. It's an apprentice level recipe. Prep time is 5 minutes, cooking time is 5 to 7 minutes, and it makes 2 to 4 small servings. It pairs well with crusty flatbread, page 71, pasta in cream sauce. So, anyways, let's read this. It says, melt the butter in a medium saucepan over medium heat and add garlic, cooking for a few minutes until just starting to brown. Pour in the wine or beer and increase heat to medium-high. Once the mixture is simmering, add the clams and cover. Simmer for 5 to 7 minutes, during which time the clams should pop open. Remove from heat and swirl in the parsley. Transfer the clams and broth to serving bowls and enjoy with large hunks of crusty bread to soak up all the juicy goodness. Yes, please. Okay. And now we have Buzzard Bites. These look good. Bam! The sweet and tangy sauce that covers these bite-sized morsels will make you pucker up and take notice. Combine that with the savory bacon bits scattered throughout, and you've got yourself a snack that goes down smooth as butter. first things first. Oh, that's a mage tower right there, especially ones in Burning Crusade. Okay, it says right here, this is an apprentice level recipe. The prep time is 20 minutes. The baking time is 20 minutes, and it makes about 2 dozen small meatballs. Pairs well with cheesy garlic pasta, hot apple cider. Page 202, which we probably won't get to today. But anyways, what you need is 1 pound of ground turkey, 1/2 cup breadcrumbs, 1/2 heaping cup crumbled cooked bacon, 1 egg, 2 tablespoons onion powder, 2 tablespoons garlic powder. Ooh, spicy. The sauce is 1.5 cups apple cider, 1 cup ketchup, 1/2 cup balsamic vinegar, and generous pinch each salt, pepper, and nutmeg. Okay, now here's what you do. You preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm glad I caught that. Some people would have been mad about that, which is why you should have the book, and why me reading it probably doesn't really matter, because sometimes I get stuff like this wrong. It says preheat oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit and line a baking sheet with parchment paper. Combine all the ingredients in a large bowl and mix until evenly distributed. Hands are the best tools for this. Form into small meatballs, roughly the size of golf balls, and place on a prepared baking sheet, spacing about 1.5 inches apart. Bake for 18 to 20 minutes until no longer pink in the middle. While the bites are baking, make the sauce. Combine all ingredients in a saucepan and simmer for about 30 minutes or until it has thickened somewhat. Remove from heat and add the meatballs, stirring and turning to make sure they are all covered. Serve warm. That sounds wonderful. Next we have candied sweet potatoes. It says here. This is a master level recipe. It takes 40 minutes to prep. It takes 15 minutes to bake. It makes 6 to 8 servings. And it pairs well with the slow roasted turkey on page 141. Candied sweet potatoes. With little clouds of maple sweetened marshmallow meringue dotting the top, this dish is sure to be a crowd pleaser. Savory and just the right amount of sweet, this hearty side of your favorite part of the Pilgrims Bounty meal. This hearty side is our favorite part of the Pilgrims Bounty meal, but you'll find it well suited for other holidays as well. What you will need is 4 large sweet potatoes, 6 tablespoons of melted butter, 4 tablespoons of honey, 1 teaspoon of autumnal herbs, page 18, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Marshmallow meringue is 2 egg whites, 1/4 cup maple syrup, and 1 cup marshmallow fluff. And those are beautiful, by the way. And it says, in a large pot, boil the sweet potatoes until tender when stuck with a fork. Anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes depending on the size of your sweet potatoes. Remove from heat, allow to cool enough to handle, then peel. Slice into 1/4 inch slices and arrange in a 9 by 12 inch baking dish. Preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Mix together the melted butter, honey, and autumnal herbs. Pour this over the sweet potatoes, then sprinkle with brown sugar. Bake for about 10 minutes and prepare the meringue topping. While it bakes, prepare the meringue topping while it bakes. When the 10 minutes are up, remove from oven, pipe on dollops of meringue, and return to the oven for another 5 minutes or until the meringue just starts to brown. Now, for the marshmallow meringue, beat egg whites to stiff peaks. About 5 minutes. Add the syrup and fluff, and beat again until just mixed. Transfer the mixture to a piping bag with a large tip. Cool. That is the candied sweet potatoes. Now, crab cakes. Those look wonderful. Awesome. Crab cakes. With such a wide variety of crawler species on the coast of Azeroth, it's no wonder that some of them end up being served by innkeepers around the world. With just the barest hint of spiciness, these tender crab cakes bring the delicious flavor of the sea right to your table. Now, this is an expert level recipe. Prep time is 10 minutes, the cooking time is 20 minutes, and it makes 10 small crab cakes. It pairs well with fresh green salad, Fel Eggs and Ham, which is on page 39. Now, what you will need is 1 tablespoon salted butter, 2 shallots minced, 2 garlic cloves minced, 14 ounces of crab meat, 1 cup fresh breadcrumbs, 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of heavy cream, 1 tablespoon of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, 1 heaping tablespoon of minced parsley, salt and pepper to taste, canola oil for frying, and citrus slices for serving. And there's the citrus slices right there. They look wonderful, by the way. Melt the butter in a frying pan over medium-low heat. Add the shallots and garlic and cook until soft and fragrant, but not too brown. Remove from heat and transfer to a food processor along with all the remaining ingredients except the canola oil. Pulse several times until no large chunks of crab meat remain. Scoop out a small handful of the mixture and form into flat patty. If the mixture doesn't hold together well, add more cream or flour as needed. Heat a thin layer of oil in a frying pan and gently lower several of the crab cakes in. Cook for about 3 minutes or until the crab cakes are not a nice golden color. Then flip and cook for another 3 minutes on the other side. Repeat with the remaining crab cakes. Serve with citrus slices. And that is the crab cakes. Cranberry Chutney. First of all, we're going to do this. It is an apprentice skill level recipe. Its cooking time is 35 to 40 minutes. It makes about 4 cups of sauce. It pairs well with slow roasted turkey, page 141, a cheese plate, and savory sandwiches. It says, originally published in the Bountiful Cookbook, this traditional Pilgrims Bounty recipe was previously unavailable outside Azeroth. With a nice balance between the sweetness of the honey and the tart pop of the berries, this versatile and simple to make condiment will please family guests and partygoers alike. And what you need is 1 small onion diced, 1 clove of garlic minced, 1 tablespoon minced candied ginger, 1/2 cup apple cider vinegar, 1/2 cup honey, 1/3 cup port, 1 to 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, 1 clove pressed, 1/2 teaspoon each cinnamon, garlic, 1/2 teaspoon each cinnamon, ground coriander, pepper, pinch each of mace or nutmeg, ground cloves, and salt. 1 pear, cored and diced, 1 apple, cored and diced, 1 12-ounce bag of fresh cranberries. Okay. Now, in a large saucepan, combine all the ingredients except the pear, apple, and cranberries. Simmer for about 5 minutes over medium-high heat. Add the pear and apple, cooking for another 5 minutes until the fruit is soft but not falling apart. Reduce the heat to medium and add the cranberries. Cook for another 15 to 20 minutes until the cranberries have popped open and the whole mixture has the consistency of thick jam. Keep refrigerated and allow it to come to room temperature before serving. Next we have crispy Batwing. I believe that is one of the Forsaken recipes, the undead, I'm not sure. Based on Abigail Sheaf's famous recipe, the Undercity snack is a favorite among the horde. Every tender bite of this crispy, flavorful dish, whether made with proper bat meat or with chicken as a substitute, will satisfy any adventurous cravings. And it is an apprentice recipe. It takes 10 minutes of prep time. It bakes for 1.5 hours, and it makes 2 to 4 servings. It pairs well with beer, beans, rice, honey spiced lichen, page 43, Pandarin plum wine, see page 206. Okay, and what you need is 2 pounds chicken wings, 1/4 cup baking powder, 3/4 teaspoon salt, 1 tablespoon blackberry jam, 2 tablespoons soy sauce, 1 teaspoon sriracha sauce. Okay. Preheat oven to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Line a baking sheet with foil and place a lightly oiled cooking rack atop that, which will allow the wings to cook more evenly. Rinse the wings and pat them dry. Combine the baking powder and the salt. Then dip the dried wings into the mixture. Brush off any excess, then place on the rack. Begin by baking at 250 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 minutes, then increase the heat to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Bake an additional 40 minutes or until the wings have begun to turn a nice light golden brown. While the wings cook, make a glaze by combining the jelly, soy sauce, and sriracha sauce. When the wings are done, remove from oven and brush on the glaze. Return to oven for a final 5 minutes. Allow to cool slightly before serving. That is the crispy Batwing. I remember that they were from the Undercity. Fel Eggs and Ham. It's a master level recipe. It takes 30 minutes prep time. It makes 1 dozen deviled eggs. It pairs well with crab cakes on page 33 and assorted sharp cheeses. And those look beautiful, by the way. Okay. You can eat them near or far. You can eat them in Orgrimmar, far less dangerous to make than its wild counterpart. This version of Fel Eggs and Ham will have you saying, "Yes, I do like this. Yes, I do like Fel Eggs and Ham." I'm going to improvise that. Simple but flavorful. Simple but flavorful. This creamy filling is topped with a crisp, salty piece of prosciutto, making for a presentation that is as stealthily impressive as it is tasty. Okay, we already went over that. Okay, what you will need is 6 eggs, half teaspoon wasabi paste, 1/4 cup Parmesan cheese, 1 avocado pitted and peeled, salt and pepper to taste, 2 tablespoons olive oil divided, and 3 thin slices of prosciutto. Okay, it says, start by hand boiling your eggs. Place the eggs in a medium saucepan and cover with water by 1 inch. And cover. Cover with water by 1 inch and cover. Bring to a boil over high heat, then remove from heat. Let the eggs sit in the hot water for about 15 minutes, then remove to a separate medium bowl. Rinse with cold water until the eggs have cooled enough to handle. Pour off the water and carefully peel the eggs. Once peeled, cut each egg in half lengthwise with a sharp knife, setting the whites aside and placing the yolks in the bowl of a food processor. To the yolks, add the wasabi paste, Parmesan, avocado, and salt and pepper. Puree the mixture until smooth. You can either fill each half egg with this mixture by spoon or by piping it in. If piping, use a very large tip or no tip at all to prevent clogging. Set the filling aside while you make the prosciutto flakes. If making the filling ahead of time, be sure to cover tightly with plastic, as exposure to the air will discolor it. Heat 1 tablespoon of the olive oil in a pan over medium heat, and tear the prosciutto into pieces, roughly the size of a $50. Don't worry if you have irregular pieces left over. These will still be delicious. Gently fry the prosciutto in the hot oil for several minutes, flipping once until both sides are dark and crisp. Remove the finished pieces to a plate lined with paper towel to drain. Place a piece of crispy prosciutto on top of each filled egg white and serve immediately. If left to sit too long, the filling will darken and the prosciutto will soften. That is beautiful, by the way. Herb baked egg. Please hold just a sec. Had to change my position. I was sitting Indian style for a couple hours, and that was starting to make my feet go to sleep. Okay, we are ready for herb baked eggs. Let's see here. It is an expert skill recipe. It prep time is 10 minutes. It's baking about 10 minutes. It serves 2, and it pairs well with breakfast tea or strong coffee. Okay. It says, quick, fairly easy, and great practice for chefs looking to level up their cooking. This recipe produces a delicious breakfast that will have you fed and ready to face whatever adventures, quests, or battles come your way. What you will need is a pinch each of fresh thyme, rosemary, and parsley minced. 1 tablespoon grated Parmesan cheese, pinch each of salt and pepper, 4 eggs, 2 tablespoons heavy cream, 1 tablespoon unsalted butter, and toasted bread cut into strips for serving. Preheat the broiler on high and move a rack up near the top of the oven, just under the heat. The trick to this recipe is having everything ready when you start. Combine the herbs, Parmesan cheese, and the salt and pepper in a small bowl. Crack the eggs into small bowls or teacups, 2 in each. This will enable you to quickly pour them into the baking dishes. Okay. Place 2 small oven-safe dishes onto a baking sheet. Divide the butter and cream equally between the dishes and place these under the broiler. Cook for about 2 to 3 minutes until the mixture is hot and bubbling. Quickly remove the pan from the oven and then tip 2 eggs into each hot dish. Sprinkle liberally with the herb cheese mixture, then put back under the broiler for another 3 to 5 minutes. When the whites of the eggs are just about cooked through, remove from the oven. Allow the dishes to sit for an additional minute to finish cooking. Then carefully transfer to a heat-proof plate or an oven mitt. Serve immediately with strips of toast and take care while eating, as the dish will still be quite hot. That's beautiful, by the way. That was herb baked eggs. Okay. Honey spiced lichen. Okay, let's see what we have here. We have apprentice skill. This is an apprentice skill recipe. Prep time is 5 minutes. Cooking time is 50 minutes. It makes about 4 small servings. It pairs well with crispy bat wings, page 37. Dry white wine, your favorite dipping sauce. Okay, honey spiced lichen. With just a dash of sweetness, these crunchy lichen crisps are a tasty way to enjoy daily greens. Often peddled by fungus vendors, these highly nutritious snacks of the Undercity's undead are now easy to make yourself. All you need is 4 to 6 large kale leaves, 2 tablespoons honey, 2 tablespoons olive oil, 1/4 teaspoon garlic powder, and a pinch of cayenne pepper. Wow, these are spicy. That's good. It says, preheat the oven to 200 degrees Fahrenheit and line the baking sheet with parchment paper. Tear the kale into pieces about 2 inches across, discarding the large pieces of stem. In a medium bowl, combine the honey, olive oil, and spices. Toss the kale in this mixture, making sure that each leaf is covered completely. Then allow any excess to drip off. Lay the kale on the prepared baking sheet, arranging so that the pieces are touching as little as possible. Bake for about 50 minutes, flipping the kale once halfway through until the pieces are crisp and flaky. Remove from heat, allow to cool, and enjoy. That was the honey spiced lichen. It looks like they've got marinara sauce to dip them in, which is awesome. I like marinara sauce. Now we are ready for sauteed carrots, and that's a dwarf, I believe. Yeah, that's a dwarf. Okay, sauteed carrots. Let's first of all go over the little tab here. It says it is an apprentice level recipe. It is 10 minutes prep time, about 15 minutes cooking time. It makes 4 to 6 servings, and it pairs well with Winter Veil Roast on page 143. This might be one of the simplest of the closely guarded recipes taught by Anthea Ironpaw, master of the wok, but it is no less delicious than the others. Tender carrots are coated with a sweet and savory glaze, topped with just a slight zing of ginger. What you need is 1 pound carrots peeled and cut into sticks about 3 inches long, 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 1 tablespoon soy sauce, 1 tablespoon honey, and 1 tablespoon minced fresh ginger. Okay, it says, bring a large saucepan of salted water to a boil, add the carrots and cook until tender, about 8 minutes, and remove from heat and drain. In a large skillet over medium-low heat, melt the butter, stir the carrots and soy sauce, and cook over high heat until the carrots are browned in spots. 2 minutes. Stir in the honey and ginger and cook until the carrots are glazed. 2 minutes longer. Transfer to a platter, and serve. And that is sauteed carrots. Sliced Zangar buttons. Okay, wait. That's the glazed carrots. I don't know if I took a picture of that. That's pretty nice. And this is the sliced Zangar buttons. And for those of you who aren't familiar, Zangar has a lot of mushrooms. I mean, we're talking huge mushrooms. So, anyways, let's see. This recipe is sliced Zangar buttons, and it is an apprentice level recipe. Prep time is 5 minutes. Cooking time is 20 minutes, and it makes 2 to 4 servings. It pairs well with tender shovel tusk steak, page 143, and rustic bread. Traditionally crafted using the shavings of the enormous fungi of Zangmarsh, this savory dish has been adapted to work with more common varieties of mushrooms. Despite the small change, it remains a flavorful accompaniment to any main course. What you need are 3 tablespoons unsalted butter divided, 1 tablespoon extra virgin olive oil, 10 ounces button mushrooms, cleaned and sliced, 1 clove garlic, minced, salt and pepper to taste, 1 teaspoon dried thyme, or 1/2 tablespoon fresh, 2 tablespoons flour, 1/2 cups beef stock, and 1 tablespoon Worcestershire sauce. Okay, it says here, melt 2 tablespoons of butter and the olive oil in a medium frying pan over medium-high heat. Add the sliced mushrooms and carefully stir. Cook for several minutes until the mushrooms have absorbed most of the butter and have shrunk down some. Make a small well in the middle of the pan and add the remaining butter and minced garlic, followed by the salt, pepper, and thyme. Continue to stir for another 10 minutes or so, during which time the mushrooms will put off a lot of liquid. Cook off most of that liquid. Then dust with the flour, stirring until there is no visible clumps left. Add the stock and the Worcestershire sauce and cook for 5 more minutes until the gravy has thickened. Remove from heat and serve. Sour goat cheese will be the last one that we do, and then we will continue this in the next one. Sour goat cheese. This is an expert level recipe. Its prep time is 15 minutes. Its draining time is 2 to 12 hours. It makes 1 cup. It pairs well with crusty flatbread on page 71 and apple slices. That's good to know. Nothing beats a nice, tart, creamy goat cheese. And you'll hear no argument about that from Jana Proudmore, who considers this one of her favorite snacks. Delicious on its own, or with savory herbs mixed in, it's just the thing to enjoy while curled up with a good scroll. I think that's... I was going to say that was Jana Proudmore, but I don't think it is. Okay, all you need is 1 quart of goat's milk, juice of 2 lemons, or 1/4 cup apple cider vinegar, salt to taste, and finely chopped fresh herbs like parsley, sage, chives, etc. Now, and there it is. It says, line a strainer with several layers of cheesecloth and set over a medium-sized bowl. Pour the goat milk into a medium saucepan and bring up to 180 degrees Fahrenheit, just under a simmer. Remove the pan from heat and stir in the lemon juice. The milk should begin to separate into cloudy whorls. Pour the milk through the cheesecloth, letting the bowl underneath catch the liquid and the cheesecloth the solids. Once more of the liquid has drained through the cheesecloth, once most of the liquid is drained through, tie the cheesecloth up into a little bundle and hang over the bowl for 2 hours. Excuse me. Minimum. If you'd like your cheese to have more body, hang overnight. When ready, unwrap the cheese into a small bowl. Work in the salt and any herbs you might like. Form into a ball or a log and wrap tightly to keep fresh for up to a week. And in the next one, we will probably continue the rest of this. I'm going to take a note that we made it to page 50. But yeah, this has been a reading from The World of Warcraft, the official cookbook by Chelsea Monroe-Cassel. A wonderful book, I might add. And provided I don't get copyright struck, there will be another episode. But yeah. If you like this content, make sure you like and subscribe and ring the bell so you know when I upload. Also, if you want to support me in any way, all that information is in the description below. Again, I get no profit from this because I don't get very many people that support me, to be honest, which is fine. I read these books because I enjoy them and because it helps people to get through the COVID. Anyways, also, I appreciate all the support. I appreciate everybody who watches the videos all the way to the end. Even if you just watch the videos for a little bit, I appreciate it. And as always, thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day.